I'm watching a Force the Vote protest in Washington, D.C. There was a lady that was speaking, and that was earlier. This is Frank Analysis. Frank Analysis is now just videotaping the people that are just talking after that speech. So Force the Vote protest in Washington, D.C. 39 watch now, started streaming 85 minutes ago. Frank Analysis, 2.35 thousand subscribers. Let's look at this for a second. There's, I don't know, 20, 30 people maybe there. I see government buildings in the back and people with tripods. There's like other journalists or podcasters or something. This is good stuff. This is exciting. So hopefully he keeps on doing this. I'm going to keep it. No, I guess I got to. All right, so Jimmy Dore. Sam Seder says the reason why he opposes Medicare for all is because it's got to do nearly all to do with why I decided to have nothing to do with Jimmy's project. I don't think a disagreement over a symbolic process strategy should be leveraged to attack and disempower progressives in the House. Sam Seder was in favor of this damn thing. Jimmy Dore defended Sam. Sam is a grifting, dirty, rotten, neoliberal, corporatist establishment son of a bitch. Sam Seder. What in the fuck is going on? Aaron Mate, I don't see how Jimmy's rhetorical style on YouTube has the power to disempower progressives in the House. I think that's an excuse. If Jimmy's style was this much of a sticking point, there are productive ways to address it without making it all about him and jumping ship. Aaron Mate also said, speaking of reminders, you supported Jimmy's proposal just a few weeks ago until you decided to ride a different wave. It's on video. Jimmy Dore finally gets it right. Sam Seder video asked. Sam Seder, Sam Seder.
I saw a video. And I've been debating, should I even give him credit for it? Because there's a lot of things about this guy that I don't care for.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the spirit in which it was presented, and because actually, I really don't care at the end of the day about whether someone's a jerk or not a jerk. I have a political agenda, and it was a pretty good idea. And so Jimmy Dore had a suggestion.
Who in the hell is this guy? This guy changed his tone in a week or two.
And I have not been able to come up with a reason why we shouldn't participate in this. People shouldn't either. Because I think it's a pretty good one.
I think it's a good one too, Sam Seder. Glad you came on board. So, I just want to mention that I believe that Force the Vote is winning. It's winning. Look at all the change. Look at the conversation. This is exciting. But it's winning because of, look at the conversation, the narrative. It looks to me like it's progressing. I'm hoping, I believe we're winning. I'm watching protest in D.C. Here we have progress, right? Progress means to go forward, to move forward, not regression. So since this started picking up steam, right, 1 month ago they started talking about it, then it started picking up steam when it started trending on Twitter. First it was Force the Vote, then it was Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore's trending on Twitter right now. And then after he started trending on Twitter, there was a story that came out about Kathleen Rice. Right, so Jimmy Dore is sitting there yelling at somebody about their committee chairs, saying how, we're trying to leverage for committee chairs, and then we get a story out there by Kathleen Rice where AOC loses her committee chair. So then she's not getting her committee chairs with that behind-the-scenes, jockeying. So we got the Kathleen Rice story, then the $2,000 checks, that was a Force the Vote, right? Nancy Pelosi says, okay, Donald, you want $2,000, we'll force the vote on you, asshole, and that forced Donald to sign the COVID-19 bill. Now it's up in the air. The Senate Republicans and Democrats voted against it. Who would vote against a pandemic? Who would vote against universal health care during a pandemic? Well, the Republicans in this old Congress, but the brand new Congress, the brand new president and the brand new Congress, will they not even vote for universal health care during a pandemic? What about $2,000 checks? What about any goddamn thing the American people need? That's the bare minimum. Just a vote. You're not even going to put a vote up? So since Force the Vote started trending, you had Jamal and Cori Bush go on CNN and say, no, Nancy Pelosi is not entitled to our votes. Jamal Bowman had expanded the conversation to include reparations and federal jobs guarantee. Ilhan Omar posted a 1993 video of Nancy Pelosi saying that she believed that single-payer health care was the best out of all the options. We're also seeing the great unmasking of all the progressive corporatists. This isn't to leverage against the progressives in Congress. This is to leverage against the idea of any kind of progressive advancement in America. We're seeing the great unmasking. We're seeing Cenk Uygur, Ana Kasparian, David Sirota, a bunch of heavy hitters. Cyber Demon 531. They're all a bunch of cyber demons. Nancy Pelosi her house has got vandalized. Tomorrow is Force the Vote. And what will happen on Monday when we find out that there is no hope for America, I don't know. But until that day, I'm going to continue to push and talk about Force the Vote until we get Medicare for all. You know what Nancy Pelosi has to do in order to stop this whole conversation? You know how Nancy Pelosi could neutralize this entire conversation? By putting Medicare for all up for a vote. Do it in honesty, do it genuinely, don't do a little tricky thing, do Bernie's plan, do Joe Biden's plan, do like 5 or 6 fucking plans, right? Put Medicare all up for a vote. And when Nancy Pelosi says, okay, I'll put Medicare all for a vote, then the progressives online will go crazy and they'll want, a million other things. But Nancy Pelosi won't have to do, really, she probably don't even have to do the Medicare for all thing. She probably get away with this shit. But by putting the Medicare for all thing up for a vote and then voting it down, she can ignore all the, future demands. I think maybe 1 or 2 demands, or 3 demands, but that's it. But once she puts Medicare for all, I think she can ignore all the demands and then it gets neutralized. The whole fucking conversation gets neutralized. That's all she has to do. And if to neutralize the whole conversation because the federal jobs guarantee and reparations, just put those up for a vote. H.R. 40 is just to study reparations and to provide a couple plans for America. So that's just a reparations commission. That's not even a reparations deal. So of course I'm for a reparations commission. Let's do a Medicare for all healthcare commission. Let's do a federal jobs guarantee commission. We can't even get the goddamn thing up for a vote. So I don't see how we could get a fucking commission if we can't even we'd have to get that up for a vote too, right? Sam, what do you think?
I think there is a downside and a danger to it. Sometimes you can overplay your hand on some level, but I'll talk about that in a moment. But broadly speaking, and it is this. As you know, Nancy Pelosi has been basically nominated to be the Speaker of the House. The Democratic caucus more or less said, we're down with that.
Yeah, fascinating stuff there, Sam Cedar. So, progressive means to move forward, to progress, to advance, not go backwards, not to regress, not to deteriorate, not to die, but to live. And the way that you live is you have to, just like when you're riding a bike, you got to keep moving. You have to be active in life. Life, it requires you to be active. Life requires you to participate in it. And since all these things, right, we're trending on Twitter. Kathleen Rice gets the damn committee chair. We see an article. Brianna Joy Gray writes an article. David Sirota writes an article. Everybody writing articles. $2,000 checks gets put up for a vote. Pelosi forces a vote, forces Donald's hand to sign the $900 billion disgrace of a bill right before Christmas. He tells us how awful this bill is, dog shit, and how we deserve $2,000 bucks. And even though we didn't get the $2,000, it captured the public's imagination, and now we're talking about it. I do believe this conversation, the $2,000 checks, will be revisited again because we're in a Great Depression. You fix the pandemic with the Medicare for all, you fix the goddamn economy with $2,000 checks for everybody until the pandemic is over. And the last thing I want to mention is that AOC, she is having a meltdown. So AOC, you know, this is getting to AOC. That's the Jordan of progressive politics. For now, Cori Bush, I think Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman are way more impressive than AOC. AOC, you know, when she first got elected, just got hit hard. Right now we got Lauren Boebert in the western slope of Colorado. That's the representative for the 3rd Congressional District. And Lauren Boebert is a fucking right-wing psychotic Sarah Palin kind of, you know, over-the-top white trash Floridian, bought and paid for shill for the big corporations. Just, she's like Candace Owens, you know, ate Tommy Lauren, ate Ann Coulter, you know, ate Sean Hannity and Bill O'Reilly all wrapped up into one. Lauren Boebert is a major threat to not just my district, but to the nation. But we didn't have a Fox News pointing out Boebert and essentially elevating them, right? AOC wouldn't be who she is without Fox News just leveling her with just, you know, just body clocking her. So, because they did that, then it turns out AOC is fucking cool. Now, you know, she was able to survive that onslaught of criticism. Lauren Boebert didn't get any of that criticism whatsoever. So anyways, what's my point? My point is this. AOC, the changes, the progressive changes, she had just recently said that the PAYGO rules had changed. Something about PAYGO. Fucking PAYGO. I remember when she first got in there, we was all mad about PAYGO. And I was like, yeah, whatever she just said, PAYGO, sure. But recently, AOC tweeted out that the PAYGO rules have changed, and so did Ryan Grimm, and that the rules have changed to allow big-ticket items, the Green New Deal, Medicare for All. So it didn't get us the vote, but it opens the door up if we do get a vote and it passes, then we have a way to finance it. Now, AOC is going to announce this as a major victory. She's going to say this is BFD. This is a big fucking deal. BFD. So she's cussing, right? Is that violence? Oh, my little ears. She said, big fucking deal. A little, you know, beautiful, cute AOC said big fucking deal. What? So she says it's a big fucking deal. So if this is a big fucking deal, that the PAYGO rules have just now changed a day or two, one day before forced to vote, Nancy Pelosi's house just got vandalized, and that's, you know, terrible for Nancy, and I hope she's okay as an individual. Symbolically for the nation, this is, you know, this is end-stage capitalism, end-stage empire, as Jill Stein had said. And that's symbolic. That's symbolic of that. So you want to say symbolic gestures? So the $2,000 checks, you don't think that, you know, helped the conversation? With the $2,000 checks that got to the conversation in Georgia. You want to win the elections in Georgia? Then let's talk about reparations. You want to win the elections in Georgia? Let's talk about a federal jobs guarantee. You want to win the elections in Georgia? Let's talk about Medicare for everybody. True blue, actual, universal, motherfucking health care. We'll win the Georgia elections that way. So since AOC says this is a big fucking deal and the PAYGO rules just changed, so, you know, the cows aren't out yet. The goats are still pinned in. But it seems that Pelosi is allowing the door to be opened to finance such an undertaking. And that's all Pelosi has to do, I believe. I want, you know, all the progressive things up there, but we don't have much power. So if Nancy Pelosi just puts up reparations, federal jobs guarantee, and Medicare for all up for a vote, I would like to see universal basic income, $2,000 checks every month. That would be my favorite. That'd be the big thing I would push. You can end the Patriot Act and also end the wars. You know, billions of dollars for the endless wars. I would like to see those things happen too. But if Nancy Pelosi and the corporatists are allowing some changes to be made, she can neutralize the whole movement by putting all those 3 issues and then some. Put up a couple other issues. Just see where the hell we stand. Where the hell does the House stand? As soon as they come in, where does everybody stand? But ultimately, people are kind of breaking down, and it looks like it probably will lose. And I'll talk about this moment in another video. This magic moment. So this moment is, okay, so we got to keep going. We got to keep going. It's working. It's working. It's getting to AOC. It's getting to the Jordan, Jamal and Cori Bush. They're, stunned. Dana Bush was stunned. What? You're not just going to hand your vote to Nancy Pelosi? We're going to talk to our community, see what's best for our community? What? Dana Bush did not know what the fuck was going on. But she does know that Bernie Sanders is a sexist in spite of what he says. Don't believe him. So, hell yeah. We're progressing. We're winning. We only got one more day on this thing, and really, what happens on Monday? You hope for the best, you assume the worst. So, the best, we get the fucking thing, we either kick Pelosi out or we get Medicare for all on the docket to be put up for a vote. Or, on Monday, what? Then what?